Luce leads me outside. She brings me out near the entrance and into the parking lot. It's empty aside from a couple of parked cars.
Look, I used to park my bike right here at the bike rack, so it's going to make me laugh still. At the beginning of this school year, one of the teachers decided to purchase a new car. Not a regular car, but a big one. Really big, a gigantic one. Flatten anyone.
As big as your butt? Anyway, keep
bigger.
going.
It turns out that his parking space was in front of the bike rack, making it harder to get the bikes in and out. I should explain this. I'm laughing because
when we previously recorded this, when it screwed up,
I imagine that the car just pulled up into the racks and ran them all over. All the bikes is flattened.
Yeah, that's why she's giggling, because that's what she's imagining right now.
Let's not talk about this teacher. How this teacher didn't give a darn, and every time he parked, he'd always hit the bike racks one way or another. See, it's kind of like that. I was kind of on to something. So I've been forced to give up my wheels, my flattened wheels, and start walking instead. But I don't want to end the year by letting him get away with it.
I presume diplomacy hasn't worked very well. Why don't you chain your bike up somewhere else?
Where? This place is busy during the mornings, and you never know where you'll be able to park. Plus, I've already made up my mind. Here or nowhere.
She presses one of the buttons on the key and the headlights of a large vehicle blink on. I almost mistook it for a monster truck, making Luce's complaint more understandable. Where are you going? What are you going to do with it now? You don't need the keys to scratch the body of it.
Sit down, I want to show you something.
Her smile's getting creepy. Luce invites me to sit shotgun. What's she planning, I wonder? I'll be the first to admit that I love pranks, but I can't imagine this girl being that kind of person. I'm pretty curious about it, so I decide to go along with whatever she wants to do. I take my seat as she goes around the other way and sits in the driver's seat. Can you tell me what we're gonna do with this car now?
You haven't figured it out yet? We're stealing it.
What? Ah! In the time it took me to blink, we sped out of the school's parking lot and onto the street. I've always considered myself a prankster, but this is too much. Too much. I mean, we're stealing a car. What are you doing?
I told you I want to test whether or not I can trust you. There is only one way to do it properly. You can't trust someone you don't consider a close friend. And I don't believe that two people can be friends until they share a secret. What do you think? Will you be my accomplice? There's no better secret than this.
You could have told me before starting the car.
I wanted to see how much it'd take before you asked. In the end, it's true that you always fulfill your promises. Or you're just stupid.
Okay, whatever you say, but slow down. You're going the wrong way in the roundabout.
I'm trying to, but it's hard. I know which one is the gas pedal, but I can't distinguish between the normal and the super brake.
What is a super brake?
I don't know. There are 3 pedals. The gas pedal, the brake, and another, which could only be the super brake.
The clutch. That's the clutch.
Dutch? Why would they be here?
Clutch. You don't know what that is? How did you manage to start the car in the first place?
Woman's intuition or something like that. I don't know.
Luce makes such a sharp turn that if the streets were busy, everyone in our path would have been slaughtered by now. After skidding, the car flies into the air with the finesse of a rat, likely also breaking the suspension and lands in an empty vacant lot. Good thing no one was in there. They'd be dead by now.
The truth is that we aren't going to steal it. More like borrow it. I don't have a license, so I don't need a car for anything myself.
You don't say. I never would have imagined that after seeing how well you drive on 2 wheels.
Don't be like that. We're only serving justice. I don't have it yet, but in a couple of months I'll be 18 and I plan on getting it then. Have you ever heard about future investments? Same thing here.
Yeah, not really worth it.
Too late. You're already involved. Without a choice on your part. It rained yesterday, right? That's why the vacant lot is muddy. The plan is to circle around a couple of times and leave the car covered in it, so do donuts and make the car dirty.
I can think of thousands of easier ways to make it to dirty a car if that's what justice intends.
None of those are fun.
I'm close to making the interior of this car as dirty as the outside purely from motion sickness. The driver's obnoxious laughter isn't helping me at all. A few minutes, although it felt more like months, of torture later, and Luce is bored of circling. The car is now in a completely unrecognizable, dirty state. At least now it seems like Luce has gotten the hang of driving, but it's a pity that our luck runs out as soon as we return onto the main streets.
Hey,
Luce says with a completely casual tone. Yeah?
what's that behind us?
I take a look and answer her in a relaxed tone. The cops. Silence consumes the car. Luce tries to break it, but is completely unsuccessful.
What's he doing with his hand?
Signaling you to stop.
I see. I think now is a good time for us to switch seats.
Don't you leave us hanging. You're gonna make us the fault man. Stop the car.
With the normal or super brake?
Some people say looks can kill, but not mine. My facial expression is more like an ode to the apocalypse. My gaze focuses on the rear view mirror as my stomach enacts a coup d'etat. Out of the police vehicle emerges a figure. Whatever happened to that fat police officer with greasy, donut-laden hands?
Again, stereotyping.
It's not like I have anything against 6 foot and 6 inches tall bodies that are as large as bodybuilders, but it's not good for my mental health or heart to face the final boss during the first level. For a second, I'm unsure if he wants to lean in through the window or rip the sunroof off with his bare hands. Are you aware that having a car this dirty makes it impossible to see your blinkers and license plate? Hey, where's the driver? Between how poorly I act under pressure while having to improvise and my stomach reenacting the French Revolution, I missed an important detail. Luce is gone. She left.
She bailed.
I think I can hear the car starting to break down under the fingers of the mean-looking officer. I may have been joking about the sunroof before, but it all started becoming more plausible. I can hear the guillotine going off in Place de la Concorde when to my ear comes a soft whisper.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the mischief. Repeat what I say if you want to get out of this alive.
No, I'd rather not. I'd rather just run. What? I guess that the sound is coming from behind me. Sorry, you whispered, so I just whispered back. From that, it's safe to assume Luce is lying down in the space between the front and back seats. With a car as big as this, there should be enough space there for her. She's really skinny. I'm just saying. Go ahead. Oh, that's me.
That's you.
Don't play dumb with me. Where's the driver? I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die because of her. I've watched more than enough Japanese cartoons to know that the aura given off by this officer is no good. It's probably because he's bald that I can't tell what his power level is, but it's likely quite high, because he's muscular.
I left the seat free on purpose because I've been looking for you all night, hitting on the officer.
Anyway, this is gonna get him in trouble, a black eye or something. Probably only because I don't have a better idea, but without overthinking it, I start repeating Luce's words. I left that seat free on purpose. I've been looking for you all night. The officer raises an eyebrow.
And rather than tell him that the driver's in behind him or the driver like bailed on him, he's going to repeat all of it.
I know, just lift her up. You're strong enough. Lift her shirt up and be like, this is the person you're looking for.
Do you know why the car's like this? I went to the countryside to look at the stars all night.
The car ended up like this because I went to the countryside to look at the stars all night, and now look, it's bright as day. I can't believe I'm doing this. Yeah, this is cringy, even to us. The revolution may have ended, but now I have Napoleon Bonaparte expanding his territory beyond my abdomen, and I can't hold him back much longer.
I put in so much effort, and I finally...
I've put in so much effort. I finally...
Here it comes. Found Uranus.
Found Uranus. Oh. No, I meant, my mind is so blank that I notice the small vibrations coming from behind my seat. Luce can barely contain her laughter. Thanks a lot, Luce. You're gonna get us arrested. My vision clouds. The bulky guy looking in through the car window seems to grow taller than before, and his eyes turn blood red. I, who has always lived free of any sins, lies. So this is the conspiracy that the corrupt government and law enforcement came up with to get rid of me for good. Still lying. I always knew they considered me a threat, lies, but for it to come to this, I would rather spend the day at home playing video games. Lies. No, wait, this is true. I hope humanity remembers me as a hero for what I've dedicated my entire life and efforts into. The protection of the Vietnamese Saola and its rights. He doesn't even know what that is.